I'll just tell you all right now, I don't really have an agenda on what I'm going to say. I never know what I'm going to say, all right? It just kind of comes from the heart, all right? And I think that's how all of our practices should be done too. You know, Renee knows what I'm talking about, you know? That's what sells your practice, I'm sorry to say, but people are buying you. They're not buying anything else. They're buying what you say and your belief in it. If you believe in it, guess what? They're going to believe in it. You know, they might not even understand what you're talking about, but they know that you're so passionate about what you're doing that you believe it. And like, wow, this guy's really on fire. Maybe he's doing something right. You know, people say, well, you know, a lot of the people who come in your office are kind of weird. I'm like, of course they are, man. I'm their chiropractor. You know, I'm not the normal guy in the crowd, you know, and that's all right. You know, if Renee tried to be me, his office wouldn't be the same. If I tried to be Renee, my office wouldn't be the same, you know? You just have to be yourself. You know, there's a lot of chiropractors here, and they know what I'm talking about. But the thing is we have to get uncomfortable, I think, is the big thing. We have to get uncomfortable. You know, I wish Oase was here. I love listening to Oase, man. He says it right. But we have to get uncomfortable. There's people out there dying, man. They're suffering. They don't know what the hell's going on because most of the chiropractors aren't telling people the truth of what chiropractic is. They're telling people what the insurance companies pay for, right? A lot of people that know me, they all know what my question's going to be. When someone starts bashing me on my fee systems, saying, oh, you're devaluing the profession, I always come back and say, hey, you know, how often do you get your own spine checked? How often do you check your family? When did you start checking your kids? Across the board, doesn't matter what kind of chiropractor are they. The rankest mixer gets their spine checked 2 to 3 times a week. They check their family 3 to 5 times a week and been checking their kids since day one. And then I ask them the important question. How many other people coming in your practice get that same kind of care year after year? And you know what? Across the board, they say 0.
That's right.
I mean, how sad is that? I mean, if it's important enough for us to get our own spines checked, guess what? I guarantee you explain it well enough why you get your own spine checked, they're going to want it too. Why wouldn't they? They're not stupid. You know, don't sell them on this treatment plan. Chiropractic's not a treatment, man. There's a lot of things out there that you can use as a treatment that aren't necessarily a treatment. There's people out there that have come down with heart disease and have started using exercise as a treatment for their heart disease, right? Or the people that come down with diabetes and now have started eating healthy as a treatment for their diabetes, right? Well, of course, there's people come in the office that use chiropractic as a treatment because they don't understand it. But if you go through the motions and really break it down with them and explain what chiropractic is and why you get your own spine check, why you check your family. I mean, everyone hears that story that comes into my office. You know, I talk about my son that's been getting care since day one. And he's almost always in the office, and they see him, and they're like, wow, he's really smart. I'm like, why do you think that is? I mean, across the board, all chiropractors, start checking their kids when they're born. And across the board, they say they excel at sports, they excel at school, and they don't get sick. Why is that? Right? I think that's the same potential that every human being on this planet has. Every child. You know, it shouldn't be the way it is. These people coming in, walking into our offices with these problems. And a lot of chiropractors want to talk about the miracles of chiropractic, how we did this. You know, oh, this person came in with this problem and now they left without this problem. How awesome is that? Great, that's awesome. But you know what's even better is if they never had that problem.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? If they would have known the truth of what chiropractic is, if they would have came from day one getting their spines checked because somebody told them. I had to go to school and spend almost $250,000 to learn this truth, okay? But you know what? Every penny of it was worth it. Why? Because now I know the truth. And I can share that truth with other people. My son will never have to grow up subluxated. That's an awesome thing. And I just want that for everyone. You know, I was called to go promote. It's been a while since I go out and promote. You know, basically, I think it's one of the best things that you can do in your community. Take a flyer, walk into a business and say, hey, you know, I'm Howie, I'm a chiropractor. I just want to give you this flyer, just to let you know a little bit about chiropractic. If you can share it with the rest of the employees and walk out. That's all there has to be. Are you necessarily bringing in that particular person? It's not about that. It's planting seeds. It's about putting that energy, that receiving energy. I want to see people, right? I walked in and started doing that Wednesday. It had been, 6 months, a year since I even handed out a flyer. And something called me, all right? So I started going out and I I handed out flyers. The very last person I handed it to, he's like, you know, my wife, you know, she's having all these problems, you know, we're thinking about surgery. And I'm just like, man. And she happened to be in the back room at this business. And I see this woman get off the floor, and she comes up and she's hobbling like, the hell does my husband bringing me up here for? He knows I'm hurting, right? So she comes up there and we're talking. And this woman is 6 months pregnant, right? She woke up a week ago Monday and was having severe pain. Her husband drug her out to the car on a towel, all right? Took her to the hospital. The hospital loads her up into an ambulance, takes her to a pain management center that injects drugs right into her spine, does a spinal block on her, okay? 6 months pregnant, remember that. And then they put her back in the ambulance and drive her back to the hospital, right? Now they write her prescription. They go take this prescription to the pharmacist, and the pharmacist is like, wow, this is the strongest drug I have in this building. 6 months pregnant. What are we doing? Are we more concerned with what we're getting paid or the truth of chiropractic? It doesn't belong to us, people. It belongs to the world. And that's who deserves it. We serve people. And I'm going to tell you what, when you serve people, it changes you. If you've never served anyone, you don't know what it's like, because it's amazing. You know, a good friend of the membership practice, he wrote an article, he wrote something that says, you know, we all know that we need to get our oil changed every 3,000 miles, right? Well, do you notice a difference between the car on the way to get the oil change? How about after the oil change is done? Do you notice a difference? I sure the hell don't notice a difference, right? in how the car performs? Yeah, there's really not a whole lot of difference. But I'll tell you what, you go without changing that oil for a while, I guarantee you're going to notice a difference. And unfortunately, that's how most people are. They've had that oil light on for so long, by the time they walk into our offices, it's easy not to see changes in their lives. But you know, the people that don't see changes, those are sometimes the hardest people, because they think, oh, well, I feel fine, why should I go to a chiropractor, right? How many here get their spines checked on a regular basis? Okay? Pretty much all of us, right? Because we in this room understand the idea of chiropractic, right? The masses don't understand it. It's our job and it's our responsibility to tell those people, because you know what? No one else is telling those people. If we're not telling them, I guarantee the chiropractor down the road ain't telling them, all right? It's our responsibility to tell these people, because they just don't know. It's not their fault that they're taking all these medicines and things, because they just don't know. And I'm not trying to bash medicine. You know, that's not what I'm about. I'm about serving chiropractic and saving chiropractic if I have to, because this stuff has changed my life. I mean,